Desert air photographer George Steinmetz joins me now. Thank you so much for talking with us. Of course, this is a 15-year project for you, but talk to us about why you decided to photograph the world's most extreme deserts from a paraglider, and why a paraglider of all things?
Well, I found them to be really beautiful, and I used a paraglider because I was flying in really remote areas and there really was no other alternative. I was flying in remote parts of the Sahara at the beginning, and there were really no aircraft to hire there, so I had to bring my own.
And a lot of things have changed, haven't they, in the 15 years you've been doing this? Google Earth wasn't there, was it? How do you sort of now incorporate the technology of Google Earth into your work?
Well, Google Earth makes my life a lot easier. It's like a phone book for extraordinary landscapes. And before I go to the field, I'll spend many days poring over Google Earth images looking for interesting places. But then when I get there, the best stuff I usually get from talking to the locals.
Oh, that's interesting. And of course, when we look at the video of your work, it is simply breathtaking. But if you had to choose which was the most spectacular photograph in this exhibit, which would it be, do you think?
Well, for me, often the most memorable or the most difficult, and I don't know, I flew at some very high altitudes in the Andes and the Himalaya, and it's very tough doing a running takeoff at 14,000 feet, and so those pictures are more precious to me.
And talk to us too about the reaction you've had so far to your new photographic exhibit. It's now going through Germany, I understand. What sort of feedback are you getting, and what feedback have you had along the way over all of these years?
Well, generally people are quite surprised when they see how beautiful these remote landscapes are, because most people have an impression of deserts as being wastelands, but they're actually really exquisitely beautiful and fragile environments. So I think most people are amazed to see the beauty and diversity of those environments, especially in a country like Germany, which is anything but a desert.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, I was intrigued. We saw a shot in that video. It included you all bloody and bandaged up. But what's the backstory to that? And just how dangerous is this when you're taking these sorts of photographs from a paraglider?
Well, it's not the easiest way to take pictures. I think it's reasonably safe. That particular photo was from a very bad morning I had in China, and I had a friend with me who I think he set up my glider improperly, and when I took off I went straight into a tree with very little warning, and I got 17 stitches in my face that morning, but I was okay. I mean, I didn't look real pretty, but I flew the next day.
That is amazing. And just finally, you know, what was your biggest surprise, would you say, along the way doing this?
My biggest surprise was actually discovering that desert environments are wildernesses, and that the rest of the planet has been utilized by man to such an extent that the deserts, the so-called wastelands, are really the last bastion of wilderness we have.
George Steinmetz, thank you so much for joining us. Spectacular photography, and we look forward to seeing more of this. Thank you very much.